What's up, Lee? What's doing, man?
Yeah, not much. I should sit in front of my TV when we're live so I can see the comments, but I can't be bothered to move in now.
Ah. How you feeling? How's everything going? You all right?
What's that? You disappeared on me for a second. What happened?
Oh, shit. I said, how you feeling?
I'm feeling much better today. I think I've caught back up to the time zones.
I want to show you something. I want to know if you like this.
Not again. Not live. Come on.
What do you think of this? What do you think? It's nice?
Yes, it's like the other one was white. This one's black. Did I get it right?
Yeah, no, it's the same shit.
No, I thought you had a white one.
The white one is the Celtics, but this is the Serious and Silliness jersey. You can get it.
Haven't I seen that one before? Didn't you hold that up on another show talking about it?
Yeah, I did. I always talk about it. This one's mine. This is my personal favorite. I might get another one.
Yeah, but that because it got your name on it, dickhead. I didn't think it was Fred Smith down the road.
But if you like the Celtics, I can get whoever wants it in the Celtics green. I can get pretty much in any color you want.
I might have to get mine in Superman colors.
I could do that.
Blue, red, and yellow. Blue with then the red and yellow around the sleeves.
I could do that. Absolutely.
Douchebag on the back.
Yeah, blowjob. If anybody wants one, you could just email me, John_Livia at Yahoo, or my other email, UncleJohn1201@gmail, or hit me up on Instagram, Serious and Silliness. It's $100 plus shipping.
Can I get one with sleeves on it, though?
You want one? Well, you can get a football jersey or a baseball jersey if you'd like to.
So I'd have to get a football one. Or the baseball ones, are they button up, are they?
Yeah.
They're not bad. You can undo them and get them off easy.
Yeah, you can get that. Absolutely. And obviously, if anybody wants a T-shirt, although I'm changing the rules a little bit. If anybody wants a T-shirt, the T-shirt is still free. But if you are in another country, you got to pay for shipping. It gets expensive.
That's fair.
Yeah. Because this guy from the UK wanted a T-shirt, and I told him, no problem, I'll send it to you. And I had to pay for the shipping. And, I kept my word. I was like, no, my word was I'm sending it to you, so I'm sending it to you. But from here on in, if anybody lives outside the United States, the shirt is free, but you got to pay for the shipping.
Yeah. It's like, honey, it's toast for dinner this week. We can't afford steak.
Yeah, you ain't kidding. Oh God. Anyway, so we're waiting for.
I see you posted a picture in the gym, so you're feeling better yourself.
Oh my God, night and day, dude, night and day. Yeah, we'll be doing another gym video Friday after work, so we'll have another one of those up. What else do we have coming on? What else is happening? I'm pretty sure I got to actually get in touch with. Wendy Fortino, she's supposed to be coming on. I have to be out on this one, my friend. Okay, so Kenson just no problem. Kenson just canceled.
If you get in touch with your inner child, is that like pedophilia?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. But it's it's on but it's on yourself though, so it's like
but people have different personalities. Could the other personality then take you to court and sue you? This day and age with America, you probably could.
Probably could. Yeah, tell me about it. It's fucking crazy.
Myself for touching myself when I didn't want to touch myself, but my other personality thought it
was myself. Oh yeah. Sorry about that.
Remember that movie Sybil? The woman that had like 99 or 100 personalities.
Do you know I have? I told you I have a degree in psychology, and every therapist.
It's very surprising.
Yeah. Every therapist and psychologist, even my teacher and my professors in school, did not believe that that was true, even though they said it was a true story. Yeah. As a matter of fact, I had a therapist that was not a therapist. I had a professor that was a psychologist for 30 years, and he goes, he's never even seen anybody with multiple personality disorder.
Well. Come on now, all women have it.
Yeah. Although there was two really good multiple personality movies. One was the one with Ed Norton and Richard Gere. Primal Fear.
In jail, yeah.
Primal Fear, and the other one was Split.
Yeah, that was like in the third. That was in the third of the series of that Unbreakable and all that, wasn't it?
Right. Was it Split? Was the Split the third one or the second?
I think it was the third one because Unbreakable, and I can't remember the second one. I think Split was the third one.
Yeah, no, I'm talking about the second one, the when they put James McAvoy in. He did a fantastic job.
Wasn't that the third one? I thought that was the third one, Split.
You might be right. I don't know.
Yeah, that was good in that one where he played he went real.
Oh, he was fantastic in that. He's a great actor. Speaking of which, I know I told you over the weekend. There's a movie that they filmed in Australia. It's called Get Her Back, and it is a sick, twisted movie, but it definitely is done well. It's on the edge of your seat. The acting is really good. The story is good, but it's cringy at times, man. It's
what was it called?
Bring Her Back.
I think I've seen that.
Bring Her Back. It just came out like not long ago. Like
I might have watched it. It sounds
familiar. It's on. It's like in the movie theater now. Just
yeah, but I have that place I can go and watch ones that are in the movie theaters.
Well, it was about the foster mom who takes in the two kids. One's blind.
Maybe I haven't seen that one. No, I saw one.
No, I'm telling you, it is a sick
movie. Did you see that movie, The Barbarian?
The Barbarian. Sounds really familiar.
Like that guy Justin Long from Jeepers Creepers is in, and that they go to this old house, and in the basement is this like weird thing that's
yeah, that's kind of strange.
You'd like it's weird. It's like
it looks like these smaller companies are starting to produce some better movies. Because Smashing Machine is coming out, the movie about Mark Kirk, who is it, the UFC fighter, and it's played by The Rock, and The Rock.
I saw a preview for that. Yeah, he's got the prosthetics on his face and that to look a bit different and all
right,
that.
Right. So let's get to the
but
big.
Isn't Mark Kerr white?
Yeah. He was a badass in like I would say the second generation of.
Was he a wrestler at school? Wasn't he an Olympic wrestler first?
He was a wrestler at school. I don't know all the details, but I know he really got hit hard with drug abuse and pain drugs, and so on and so forth. But anyway, so I want your opinion. I know what your opinion is going to be. Already. What?
It sucks. Okay.
Yeah. This past weekend, of course, was the Legion and Tonio.
Let me guess. You want my opinion on how many sessions he had in the gym?
Yeah. Because it gets better. It really does. It gets better.
Yeah.
But Tonio Burton just blew the competition away. The guy is guy's an amazing bodybuilder. But surprisingly, Patrick Moore came in second and really looked good.
Yeah.
He really, really looked good. I mean, the talent pool wasn't as deep as Cali or the New York Pro, but you got to give him his props. He still looked good, right?
Yeah, you can't, pick who's going to turn up on the day. As long as you turn up, then hey, you did your job.
That's right. Absolutely. So, the thing is, though, Nick Strength and Power was covering, the show, and he was texting Patrick Moore between prejudging and finals, and he tells Pat, he said, how did you do it? How'd you get in such great shape in a week? And Patrick Moore tells him, I went to the gym 5 times a day for 6 days, and I'm 15 pounds lighter this show than I was in Cali. So without even saying anything, I'm like, this is bullshit. This is fucking.
Well, you got to look at it like this. He's a professional bodybuilder.
Yeah.
He's not making much money, so he can't afford food, so he can't eat. So he's going to be 15 pounds lighter. And he had to train 5 clients a day. So
okay. That's what it was. Okay. So it gets even better, though, because he kind of
there's more.
Yeah, because he kind of Kenson from EP09 put it on his Instagram that I called him out, and it says 32 gym sessions in 6 days is 5 gym sessions per day. But then Patrick Moore incriminated himself. He put on his own social media that he has proof. He says he spent over 30 gym sessions to cut 15 pounds in a week for this look. Texas Iron Public Gym can confirm this. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
So here's the thing.
We want the security video.
No, not even that. Not even that. He was in California, and then he traveled back to Texas, right?
Mm.
And then he had to travel from Texas to Reno to get to the Legion.
So you're missing time traveling, aren't you? Training.
so right
Well,
off
if I come to America, I can do it, because if I leave here at 11 a.m. on Wednesday, I get to America 6 a.m. Wednesday. So I get there like 5 or 4 hours before I left. So I could do it that way, because
yeah. Armand, what's up, man?
What's up, guys?
What's up?
Hey.
We just jumped into the Patrick
I'm
Moore.
I'm just back from my 4th session this morning. I got up at 3 a.m. I had 4 sessions already.
4 sessions of what? Podcast?
yeah.
Training.
Oh, training?
Yeah, I'm on the Patrick Moore training schedule.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. John texted me. Oh, yeah. Okay, I get it.
But here's the best part, Armand. Here's the best part.
I'm a little late to it.
That's all right. Here's the best part. Patrick Moore literally incriminated himself, saying that he has proof that he did this, right? So he puts it on his own social media.
I didn't even hear the story. Like, you told me what he trained like 30 times in a certain.
Okay, I'll quickly sum it up for you.
I missed it.
Nick from Nick Strength and Power was texting Patrick Moore in between prejudging and finals at the Legion. So obviously Patrick looked 10 times better at the Legion. I mean, there's no way around it. The guy looked great at the Legion. Right. Okay. I'm not saying he didn't. He looked whatever he did worked.
Yeah.
He said Nick congratulates him and says, "What'd you do to get in such great shape in a week?" And Patrick Moore says, "I did 32 gym sessions in 6 days, and I'm 15 pounds lighter than I was in Cali." Okay, right? So it sounded like Nick really believed him. Now I called bullshit. I called bullshit immediately. I went on and called bullshit, and then EP Kenson from EP09 puts on his Instagram. And he puts on what Patrick said, that he has proof that he did this. And the proof incriminates him. So wait, he goes, this is great. So this is from Patrick Moore's, I don't know, Instagram, I guess. "I spent over 30 gym sessions to cut 15 pounds in a week for this look. Texas Iron Republic Gym can confirm this. It was absolutely worth it." Okay. So that means he went back to Texas to train at Texas Public Gym, right? Whatever training. So you're telling me that from Cali, you went back home to Texas, so you had to travel, and then you had to go from Texas to Reno, where the Legion is. So you got 6 days with travel and eating and prepping, and you got 32 gym sessions.
But was it the last week though? He might have done it a month before. He might have done it a month before to drop the weight.
Yeah.
That guy's wild, man.
Yeah, and he said that he lost 15 pounds. Now I'm like, okay.
Do you think he's annoyed, sitting there now, thinking, "Fuck, if I only did 40 sessions, I might have won the show."
Yeah. The thing is, like, I've known guys like him that like love to like tell tall tales and lie, and when you call them out on them, one of several things happens. Number one, they continue to lie. It was, some of them were cardio sessions, and I had to do like 2 cardio sessions, and then I was doing 3, and they go into explaining, right, blah 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 blah, and then the more you push, the more lies and bullshit that they give you.
Those people are weird, man. Like I grew up with one of those guys too.
I had this guy's at work like that.
Yeah.
So the other thing is they'll say something like, every bullshit artist says this. Why do I have to lie? I got nothing to lie to you about, right? They try to use logic, and it's like, well, that's because you're a bullshitter. That's why you're lying. I got. What do I?
They said he trained twice, and the other 3 sessions he had clients.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
It's just
maybe is that what he meant? He trained clients, like he trained his clients. He
said 32 gym sessions. That was those were his words.
But was that the last week, or was that like a month before? Or
no, a week. The week in between, 6 days. He literally said, in 6 days, I had 32 gym sessions and lost 15 pounds. First of all, he wasn't 15 pounds lighter. That's first.
I'd like to see the breakdown of the workout though, just to see which ones were cardio, which were weight, which were.
But here's the thing: instead of us talking about what a great improvement he made from Cali to Legion, we're talking about how full of shit he is.
No, you are. You're
am. You're right.
You're going to be banned from his Instagram.
Probably.
he just dropped water. He was just super watery. So
yeah,
he just came in and
probably took a couple of diuretics, and it was it's just how much could he have possibly been lighter? I mean, 5 pounds? I'll give you 5 pounds. I mean, really, you guys are more.
I mean, no, you could pull like 10, 15 pounds with Lasix. Yeah.
Yeah, but would he have looked that good?
I want to know what his calorie intake.
Yeah, I mean, dude, he looked pretty bad at Cali. I mean, he was watery. He was really watery.
32 sessions the last week. I want to know what his calories intake was like.
Yeah, so you're telling me travel, what you're eating, food prep, sleep. Oh, come on, man. I just can't. Come on.
There was an article once. There was an article once in MD. It was on Jay Cutler, and he said he eats, forget how many times a day it was, and somebody worked it out. If they worked out his eating, because he said, I eat every 2 to 3 hours. This is how many meals I eat. When it worked out, it's like he was only sleeping 1 hour a night with his training and eating. It's like,
but Lee, when they did the magazines, most of the stuff, when they asked you what you ate, and I mean, I know I did like the magazine stuff I did. There was only like one article ever that was only really what I did. That they really asked me what I did.
Mine were pretty honest because Ron Harris would always record what I said, and generally what I said got me suspended, so it was pretty accurate what I said.
Yeah. No, like I'm a pretty good judge of character. I can kind of tell when somebody's bullshitting and so somebody's not, Yeah. Like, and the truth of the matter is, when you are you're lying to get out of trouble is one thing, right? That's lying out of fear, or lying because you're going to get in trouble, or lying to save your ass, whatever, right? That's different. But telling these grandiose stories for no fucking reason, when somebody says, how did you get in shape? Like these over the top stories, usually that's a symptom of something greater. Usually
he's not good at mathematics.
Yeah. Usually it's a symptom of like narcissism or borderline personality disorder or something like that.
Oh, we're going deep now. We're going deep.
Like John, I had a friend just like that. Like I said, I grew up with him in high school, and he was always one of those type of friends that you just kept at a distance. You knew if he came over your house, something was probably going to go missing, like sunglasses or this or that. And so he was like that too. You would meet girls, and he'd be like, meet my friend. He has we own our own club in England, and this, like, I'm like, oh, we do, and like, it's like they're just used to lying on a daily basis, and so they just make that's their way of life, getting through life, getting things they want. Weird.
Growing up in Brooklyn and in Staten Island, man, I mean, I've seen so many guys like this that tell these fucking and what's funny is like it's just. You get to the point where you could pinpoint it. Like as soon as he said it, I'm like, come on. I have an uncle, my mother's brother, who fucking does this, man. Who fucking and it's just like, and if it wasn't my uncle, I'd be like, oh God. I mean, he tells so many fucking bullshit stories. It's unbelievable, bro. He told me that we smuggled diamonds into the United States from Africa. I mean, he told me that
you watched Blood Diamond, did he?
Yeah, right. He told me that he went before Congress because he was under arrest for organized crime, and I'm like, you realize you're related to me, right? You realize you're my uncle and my mother is your sister, right? That never happened. You realize this, right? And it was just like, it's just unbelievable. And he would just keep going and keep going. It was just like, and you just go, okay, all right.
He was disturbed because when he was younger, he got the same medical treatment when he was sick.
Yeah, maybe you're right. No, yeah. Yeah. But yeah, man, it's just fucking, and it's like, it's insulting to me because it's like, do you really think I believe this shit? Like, do you think I know it's not me. It's obviously them. And it's like, do you really think you're lying that I'm going to believe this crap? Do you think I'm that stupid?
It's offensive, right? Because you think you're that stupid to believe their stories. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a guy at my job who we had a blowout. We were working together one time. And if you're gonna bullshit me, at least bullshit me about a topic I don't know, right? Like if you're going to lie to me, tell me like you were a former NHL goalie. I have no idea about fucking hockey, right? No clue. I'd be like, all right. But he was telling me that he was a prep coach, but he never used the word prep coach, that he would train professional bodybuilders. And I said, you trained professional bodybuilders. Who did you train? He goes, no, not trained professional, semi-pro. I went semi-pro. Right. I was like, you realize that that's not even the dialogue that bodybuilders use, right? That's not even.
You mean an amateur?
Yeah, I'm like, that's you realize, and it would just spiral out of control. No, I meant this, and that, and then we wound up all like, bro, you're full of shit. And now it takes me time to just go, wait, and you go, wait a minute, like, who's the idiot here? I'm the one entertaining this nonsense.
Sometimes you want to see how far they take it because you're just so interested in the story.
Like they're not even bright. They're not even bright enough to lie to me about something I don't know about. It's like, Jesus.
You hear some people like, yeah, you see probably like Lee or you or someone, someone big. So yeah, mine so and so is about that size before. You're like, oh yeah,
oh yeah.
They were like 260 ripped. That's cool. Like,
yeah.
You have a picture.
Yeah. That's always great. That's when I was your age. I looked like
a friend that looks like you, but he's a bit bigger than you. Almost.
Yeah.
I had a woman that did it. I was at a jewelry store once, and I was looking at.
That's what I'm sure happened to Leo all the time. Like, yeah, sure, I'm at this guy.
Yeah. I was at a jewelry store once, and this lovely, she's a nice black lady, and I'm just saying black lady because I asked, was her son Ronnie Coleman? Because I'm just looking at watches. This was when I was in my peak condition.
Yeah.
As I can see you train. I said, yeah, I train. She goes, oh, you got very big arms. I'm like, yeah, they're okay. She goes, now they're big. She goes, but my son, his arms is twice as big as yours. I said, hello, Mrs. Coleman. She's like, that's not my name. I went, oh, isn't
it? Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly. I love because I guess I look young, so I get this too, and I get the when I was your age, I look like you. I'm like, really? I'm 49. I'm gonna be 50 next year.
I always get that.
Like,
What about this one? I get this one a lot. If I started training when you started training, you took, I could look like you.
Oh, yeah.
My reply these days is, you know what? Well, if I stopped training and got AIDS and cancer, I could look like you.
Yeah. It was unbelievable, man. It's just like, for some, I don't know what it is. Like,
I just hope you apologize when Patrick puts this out there and he details his training. I hope you apologize to him when he.
No, there won't be any apology.
He's going to try to beat you up.
Yeah, in the parking lot. Yeah, outside the gym. Yeah.
After all that stuff, like the comments were still going on. Like I think like weeks later, and so I responded to something. I was like, yeah, man, Patrick needs to find God or something. And he's like, and then he responded with like a threat of something, I'll punch you in this or something, this and that. I'm like, dude, like. Patrick, you're not scary, dude. I don't care if you box or anything. It's like, dude, you're a 40-year-old man. Like threatening, like who? Like the guy's so silly.
Here's something. He
needs to grow up.
Do you realize that's assault, right? So, so you punch me in the face, and I call the cops. It's assault. You're going to jail.
Even in writing, isn't that a verbal threat in writing? If it's in writing.
Well, right. I told you this, right? Lee, I had I'm not going to mention his name. I might have told you something. I don't know if you want the show or not when I said this, but I had like basically an MMA fighter, like a very, very good MMA fighter, threaten me, and want to beat me up. This was fantastic. Now he wasn't UFC good, but he was good enough in everything else.
He was a fighter, yeah. He was a fighter.
I mean, Bellator, bare knuckle, underground street fighting, blah 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 blah. So what had happened was, anybody who's a hardcore fight fan, like serious hardcore, would know who this guy is. But I'm not going to put it out there. So what had happened was during the whole Trump thing. During the whole Trump thing. I voted for Trump, and I would put up funny stuff on my Instagram, but it was always funny stuff like in favor of Trump. You know what I mean? Like, but still funny. So this guy, I guess, doesn't like Trump, and he would leave what do you call it? Xavier. There we go. What's up, dude?
Yo, what's up, man? What's
So
up,
he would leave.
What's up, late?
He would leave. He would leave comments underneath what I put on Instagram, right? So I don't care. So then he DMs me, and because we used to like know each other and like talk, go back and forth or whatever. And then he DMs me. He goes, "You unfollowed me with the laughing face," and I'm like, I look at my phone, I go, "Why didn't I unfollow him?" And then I walk back. I look, I'm like, "Oh shit, I didn't follow him." So I hit follow, and I messaged it back, and I was like, "If I unfollowed you, dude, it was a mistake. I didn't even know I unfollowed you. I just followed you again. You don't really think that I unfollowed you because you didn't vote for Trump, right?" And he goes, "That's exactly why you unfollowed me. That's because of the comments that I put underneath your posts." And I was like, and then finally I was like, "Dude, like I haven't talked to you in like 2 years. I don't care about what you're." I like you, and I actually said to him, "You're giving yourself way too much credit. I don't care about you that much. I don't think about you ever." right. So then he got real fucking offended, and he's like, "Yeah, how about we settle this. You meet me in the street and we settle this." I was like, "You want to beat me up because I unfollowed you?" And he goes, "No, because you insulted me." And I said, "You realize that if you were to I said, why would I fight you? You're like a world-class fighter. What chance would I have?" And he goes, "You know what? When I meet you on the street, you better just keep that same energy." And I was like, "You realize that would be assault, right?" And then
Who's this?
This was a guy who was an MMA fighter who wanted to beat me up, but he was a very relatively well-known MMA fighter. But so that's how it ended. Then I just blocked him and I never spoke to him again. But it was
I remember a couple of top MMA fighters, they got beat up at bars. So I think Tito Ortiz got in a bar fight and got beat up, and then
well, the thing is, when you're in a street fight or a bar fight, there's a lot of elements going on that doesn't happen in the cage. Now, don't get me wrong. When you're an MMA fighter, you obviously have the upper hand if you're in a street fight.
Yeah.
But when you are in a bar fight or in a street fight, you might be fighting two guys. Somebody might hit you from the back of the head. One guy might fucking gouge your eye out. One guy might bite you in the balls. There's too many variables going on.
Up a metal bar in the alleyway and crack it over.
Yeah, like so it's not that it's you're not
it's
like
usually like a less than a minute. Someone knocks someone out of this.
Yeah. But I mean, you
Someone
never
tackle someone or whatever. Like it's like
I mean, literally, you could. It's there's too many. There's too many variables in a street fight, bar fight.
I was doing the boxing for cardio. I just decided to do boxing for cardio, and I was just doing that. And the guy I trained with trains Australian fighters. He's like, "Oh, Lee, you're pretty good." I'll post a video. Posted a video, and I'd get, knock him out, blah blah blah, this and that. I was like, and I look at their profile. It's like, you've been boxing for 15 years. I hope you could fucking knock me out.
Yeah, really.
You're a fucking idiot. It's like. That's like stupid.
You can't, like when you're a bodybuilder, you can't post stuff like that because people attack you. I know what you're talking about, Lee. I used to go with my son, and my friend and I used to box with my friend and stuff like that. Like for exercise for muscular guys, that's really hard. I mean,
it's
that to be muscle bound and box for like an hour or spot. That's really
tough. I used to box when I was a kid, but not anything good. Like and it's difficult, man. It's probably the most difficult workout. Anyway, Xavier, while you're on, I want your opinion because we're talking about Patrick Moore. So do you think Patrick Moore in 6 days did 32 gym sessions to get in shape for the between Cali and here comes the political correct fucking statement.
No, I would love to know what workouts he did. 5 workouts a day. Like, who the fuck's going to travel for that many times back and forth to the gym? Like, wouldn't you just stay there at that point? Like, just camp out in the gym? Or what? Like, I don't know.
What I said. But not only that, but he put in his Instagram that Texas, what gym is it? Armand, Texas Public Gym, some shit like that.
I don't know. He's in Houston. I'm in Dallas.
Oh, okay.
So there's a bunch of gyms over there. Like,
he said he goes, Texas Iron Republic Gym could confirm this. So you're telling me that you traveled from California back to Texas, right? And then at the day before the Legion, you traveled from Texas to Reno and still got those 32 sessions in that week, plus food prep, plus sleep. I mean,
if
Dude, you know what reminds
between shows, like if anything, you would get sick if you trained a lot. You would, your immune system's already down when you prep, and then usually if a show's a week apart, Lee, you maybe work out 3 times, maybe 4 in between those.
Well, even if you did work out,
shows,
it's just like a lot. It was a light pump. It was never a big, heavy, full-on session. If you
so
trained.
Xavier, what do you think? What's your opinion?
Your immune system, you'd be sick. Yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
It reminds me of Silvio Samuel when he went on the Menace podcast and said he won a bronze medal in the Olympics for wrestling or whatever he said, or gold medal or whatever the fuck it was. Like, that was so crazy. Like, and Dennis James is like half calling him out. And he's like, and you can tell Dennis was like, how far do I go with this guy? Like, you can just tell he's a pathological
You're telling me
liar.
you got a gold medal in fucking India Olympics. He goes, what year? What year was this? I'm going to look it up now. What year was this?
He was jumping around too, and he worked out he'd be 11 years old. And Dennis is like, so you were 11 years old when you did it. I'm just
that was the crazy
caught
part.
out live.
There are just pathological liars out there that love to tell tall fucking tales, man. That's, and like we were saying before, usually it's a symptom of something greater. Usually it's a symptom of like narcissism or borderline personality or something like that. They just like to tell these grandiose fucking. I had a guy at work. When I first got there, he was like ready to retire, and he used to say that he flew helicopters in Vietnam. And I'm like, well, how old are you? Like, are you old?
Rambo?
What's up?
Was his name Johnny Rambo?
Yeah, it was unfucking believable. He flew helicopters in Vietnam.
I actually did. People don't really know, but before I got into bodybuilding, I used to ride horses, and actually won ribbons riding horses.
Really?
Oh.
You've done it all, Lee.
Yeah,
that's crazy. Race cars, horses.
Cousin was into it. He was into riding horses just before he turned trans.
What kind of?
I have a transsexual cousin.
Was it racing or what was it?
No, like around barrels and doing campers.
Oh yeah.
All the fancy stuff, all the gay shit.
Yeah, that's usually
it's common in Texas. I mean, Cowboys out here, but that's was that popular? We're in Australia where you grew up.
Yeah, it's pretty popular because my neighbours, they used to have horses, and my grandfather had the horse, and this thing was fiery. Some days it'd try and fucking buck you off it, so you could end up on the ground in an instant. It'd be fucking, they call it a pig root, where it just like throw its back legs out, and you'd be going over the fucking front of it.
Holy shit!
Cool.
So Xavier, what'd you think of Tonio at the Legion?
He looked good, man. Like, I was really impressed. Like, it seems like he just leveled up again a little bit more. I was sort of looking at his physique maybe like, 3-4 months ago before he started prep and thinking like, has Tonio made, any improvements to his physique? But it seemed like as he prepped, he just got better and better. Like the legs got rounder. Like he really is like I used to call him like a mini Dexter Jackson, and now he's getting that size as well. Like, side by side next to guys, he can fade a little bit in terms of just overall structure and size, but he's got that conditioning where, like, I think he shows up in an Olympia, and no matter what, he's pretty much top 10 as long as he doesn't come in
agree.
off,
I think he's going to be top 10 at the Olympia too.
I've known him for a while, and he's we had him on me and King Kamali's show. We had him on 2 days out from the show because
I saw that.
I knew he was going to win, and I'm like, he's just one of those guys with, amazing genetics, and he didn't really take much before, in his earlier shows.
Yeah.
So he didn't push it that much, small amounts of GH, and so now when you just take a little more, it shows because
his body is fresh.
He has that fresh, he has that real fresh look to it, and he just bumped it up a little bit.
But Dexter and Sean Ray and all those people always had that fresh look. Their conditioning was on. They never looked worn out or tired. They always looked fresh at every show they did.
Yeah.
I watched that episode with Tonio, man. Well, not the whole thing, but I watched it, and he's cool as shit. I mean, I met him once before when he won the New York Pro.
But you want to know why his conditioning was so good? He actually told me. If you want to know.
Go ahead. What was his conditioning so good?
he went to the gym 50 sessions in 60 months.
Yeah, exactly.
Is that what happened?
I
Oh,
wasn't
man.
meant to tell anyone. But
Yeah. No, I get it.
He's on that 10-a-day shit.
Patrick should have went 55 then. Maybe he would have won. It was unbelievable.
No, Tonio's a good guy. He has a great
I
physique.
was surprised how in good spirits he was 2 days before his show.
I know. Like,
You know?
Very friendly, yeah.
Most guys were miserable. He must, he
why is it when everyone says he's a good guy, every time you say good guy, I think of Greg Valentino?
Yeah.
'Cause he says that about everybody.
Everyone's a good guy. He's a great guy. He's a good guy.
I rarely say that, but yeah, Tonio is actually a good guy. Greg says that about I don't know if there's one person there's not. Everyone.
yeah.
He's a guy.
He's a good
Yeah,
guy.
I know. I never had a problem with him. He's a good guy. Yeah.
Hitler, he's a good guy. He's a good guy.
He could have been a pet, and he's a good guy still. Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't know that part of him. He would make a reason for it.
The guy I knew was a good guy.
Minus the pedo and the murders. He was a good guy.
Yeah.
Would hang out with him now and then. He was all right with me.
I guess that's a good trait to see the good in people, right?
For sure.
Like,
My grandfather was like that. My grandfather never said a bad word about anyone. I even said to him someday, I said, even Adolf Hitler, I said, or a mass murderer. I said to him, who was I talking about one day? Dahmer or someone. I said, what about Jeffrey Dahmer that killed 8 people? Well, I'm sure he had some good qualities in him somewhere.
You can't blame him for his trauma.
No.
I'm gonna call somebody else out, and Lee, you might get mad at me. I need my views to go up, so I'm just gonna blurt it out. I'm just gonna blurt it out because and what I say I really mean. It used to be when I first started this channel, I was afraid to say something because he might not come on my channel.
Disclaimer: the other hosts of this show, the other people on this show, do not hold the same.
Yeah, no, this is just me. But now it's getting to the point where I'm just blurting it out. And Lee, please don't take offense to this. I know he's your friend. Chris Cormier was asked if what was it on? I think it was on Dennis's show. Xavier, you gotta know.
I didn't see that. I don't always watch it.
He was asked about comparing himself to the conditioning to Derek Lunsford when Chris was in his prime. Mm-hmm. And Chris just started laughing, as if there's no comparison from when he was in his prime. And I'm here to say, no, Chris, you would not be able to touch Derek Lunsford in size or conditioning.
We'll get Chris on this show next week.
You wouldn't be able to touch Hottie. You wouldn't be able to touch fucking Derek. It's just.
I think Derek will come close. Hardy, no, but
no, they're too big. These guys are too big.
No, Chris is an overall balance.
Chris was not a huge bodybuilder. He was a very symmetrically sound, good bodybuilder. He came in good conditioning. But you're talking about a new generation of guys.
He's a big guy though, like 5'10", like 250 on stage, Lee, like 5'10", 250.
Yeah.
When he was San Francisco.
Okay. The thing is, Hottie and Derek.
When I beat him at San Francisco weighing 199. He was.
There you go. There you go. He was really pissed off of that, right?
Yeah.
But you're talking about Derek and Hottie, who came up from 212 and are 250 on stage at 5'6", shredded. And Samson is 6 foot and almost 300 pounds on stage. These guys, sometimes you got to be a little modest, and there's
just different looks now, John. It's just different looks.
I get it, but if you look, okay, let's say let's pick somebody that would be similar to Chris Cormier. Let's say Raphael Brandau. Very sound, good bodybuilder, so on and so forth. You don't come close. He comes in shape, great physique. I'm not taking anything away from Chris. Chris was one of the best during his era. But you have to be a little bit modest, man. I mean, to laugh at when somebody asks you to compare yourself to Derek Lunsford, it's like, all right, give me a break. You don't laugh it off as if it's night and day. it's just
I think from a front, like in Chris's best looks, like from Arnold and things like that, when he's placing second all the time to like Jay, and he had some close battles with Jay, so you can't say like he wasn't there. He was right there.
Jay
But his
Cutler?
strength was his
Jay Cutler during what
Yeah.
years?
I don't know what year it was at the Arnold. It was around that 2000 and shit. What was it like 2000 and shit? I don't even know what years they were exactly, but early 2000s sort of years when Jay was placing.
I don't
them
think Jay Cutler would do well in today's era either.
You don't think so? You don't think Jay would do well in today's
You
era?
don't think Jay would win today?
No,
You really
I
don't
think he-
know.
I swear to God.
His
I don't.
09, his 09 look.
09 would probably be his best look. His 09 look would probably be his best chance. But I think guys like Hottie and Derek and Samson would outshape him.
John, just calling a spade a spade.
I'm calling a circle a circle, man. Listen,
I think Jay would be right in that group, like if not winning.
no, he
09
he would be in that group, but he would not be winning. Look. Let's tell the truth about Jay Cutler's era. And Jay has been on my show, and I'm a huge Jay fan. But like I said, I remove my emotion when I talk about this. Let's talk about the Jay Cutler era. The Jay Cutler era was an extreme drop in talent in bodybuilding pool. It was past the Ronnie era. There was no Ronnie. There was no Sean Ray. There was no Flex. There was no Milos left. There was no Cormier left. It was Jay Cutler, Branch, Dexter, and who's the Spanish guy, the Dominican guy, Dominican Dominator. What's his name?
Victor Martinez.
Victor. That's who you had, and he lost once against Dexter, and he should have lost against Victor during a very down period of bodybuilding. After Jay's era, that's when you had Phil, Kai, Dennis, Roden. That's when it got better again. That's my opinion.
I think Jay would beat Derek at his best.
I agree. Yeah.
I agree.
Maybe the 09, version.
I think Jay would beat Nick Walker, and Nick.
But
Walker
when you look at Jay's, Jay would have a problem with him from the back because Derek's rear double back is just fucking insane. And
Jay was a bigger guy.
Derek would have trouble with Derek with his rear double by. He would have trouble with Derek from side shots. Maybe from the front, he might he might hold his weight. But if you tell me the 08 Jay Cutler could beat the Derek that won the Olympia, I can't say that. I can't. No way.
Well, I think he would.
No, I don't think. But on what? Explain to me why.
I see Jay winning.
Why? Explain to me why you think he would.
Jay is the widest.
Why would Jay
dude
Cutler
I've ever
beat
seen in my
Derek
life.
Lunsford or Samson Dowder?
So I'm looking at a photo of like Ronnie next to Jay now. Like Jay, like shoulder to shoulder, was wider than Ronnie. Like Ronnie, had more muscle overall. Like he had the bigger structured chest. Like he had the bigger peakier biceps and things like that. But this one is, I don't know what year this looks like 01, to be honest. But Jay had like those nice round quads. He had cuts through them. His back, while like 09, it wasn't like at its very best. It was still thick and dense and very wide across the shoulders, which I think
good.
Was his back as the lats as low and thick and dense as a Derek or a Hottie?
Derek's are only low because he's fucking short.
But that doesn't matter. That doesn't. That's not.
There's dense.
Height doesn't matter in open bodybuilding.
Putting them next to each other, Jay would still win easily, in my opinion.
Yeah,
Jay in person was just
he's more dense. I think especially most front shots too in the front.
Look, when Jay was in the era with Ronnie, he did not. I know everybody thinks I'm crazy. Okay, I know. I'm getting.
Still suffering from your medical relapse.
No. When Jay was in the era with Ronnie and so on and so forth, he did not break the top 5 until those guys started falling off. He did not beat Ronnie until Ronnie really pretty much beat himself. I'm not saying Jay was not an excellent bodybuilder. He was a tremendous bodybuilder. Okay, but he was. Let's face facts. He was Mr. Olympia during a time where there was an extreme dip in talent. And he lost once, and he should have lost twice during that time. And the talent today is much better than it was then. And I don't think. Well, all right. So okay. So
I guess
move forward. In 2000. When did he compete against in the more of the modern era? He came back. What 2013? Was it 2013?
Might be
When
somewhere around there. Yeah, I think it's 13.
Right, yeah, it was 13, and he came in 6th, and that was a fucking gift because he was Mr. Olympia. That was a fucking gift.
The shot up bicep. Yeah.
If you need to know what's on Jay's Instagram, you'll have to ask me from now on.
I mean, if you wanna come at me, it's fine. If you want to come at me and say I disagree, you gotta give me reasons why you disagree, because I'm literally spewing.
Did you ever go, John? Did you ever go to Olympia though and see Jay on stage up close?
No, but I don't.
Yeah, you had to have then. I mean, it's just like seeing these guys. Lee.
But that does I get it. Everybody says that, but that does not delete the fact that he lost against Dexter in 08, and he should have lost against why can't I remember his name? What am I fucking retarded tonight?
Sure.
What's his name? Jesus Christ.
Victor Martinez.
Victor Martinez. And that he should have lost, and that Branch came in second against him in 09.
John's just upset he's not going to Vegas in June. He's taking it out on people.
I don't know if you can see that, but like that's Nick Walker. It's a bit the green screen's playing up with it, but Nick Walker and Jay Cutler side by side on a rear lat spread.
I'm saying that he can't beat Nick Walker. He probably could beat Nick Walker because of Nick's shape. But I think
what about Branch and Nick going against each other?
Branch and Nick. Ooh. That's a rough.
Do you know what's funny? Branch, when I look back, he looks more aesthetic than I remember.
Yeah,
like there's some shots where I'm like, oh,
because he's compared to Nick.
That last Nick is rough. That last Nick is rough to beat. The Nick from the New York Pro.
He's big, yeah.
I think Nick from
and he was big and he was shredded from the back, and his rear double bar. I'd have to go with Nick. And I'm a huge Branch Warren fan. Huge. I still watch his stuff to get motivated for the gym. But Nick at that New York Pro, man.
It's always hard to
close.
He was fucking lights out. What?
Until you ever see him on stage side by side, we'll never know, because looking at photos and that.
You could argue this till you're blue in the face. Yeah, absolutely. This is like saying who would win in a fight, Ali or Tyson.
When people do those comparisons with those photos, that doesn't work. You could get an amateur guy. And
exactly.
And an amateur guy you could make him look better than that.
Yeah,
guy.
We see it happen all the time. And once they're on stage, like Crizzo looked like he was going to beat everybody. You put him on stage, and you see his weaknesses. Yeah, 100%. You can have this argument till you're blue in the face. I just try to look at everything. What we're removing my emotion. I'm a huge Branch Warren fan.
You're an emotionless person.
Yeah, I have to get rid of that and give my actual opinion. I mean,
but even let's say Derek, if you see Derek, and let's just say you see him in person, like Lee. How tall are you officially, Lee?
5'5.5" officially from the who measured me against the wall.
So you're the same. You're basically the same height as Derek, I would guess, right?
Yeah.
He's a little.
So let's say you see them in person, though. Seeing Lee in person would be a lot more impressive. I saw Lee in person. I saw Lee in person.
I saw him guest post
in his prime, and then I've seen Derek in person. Derek just still seems like even though on stage he just feels like a small guy. In person, Lee had all these big, it looked crazy in person.
I'm Daffy Duck.
Yeah, like a cartoon.
Derek on stage though, especially when he's on. Yeah. Derek on stage. I mean, look, Derek's a little inconsistent. I'll give you that. But Derek when he won the Olympia, and Derek when he beat Sampson at the Arnold this year, Derek on stage is fucking impressive, man. Those deep cuts in his fucking glutes, his rear double bi, you could argue, was probably one of the best rear double bis in bodybuilding history. His side shots, because he's so thick. I was shocked at how Nick was able to push him.
Is it just me though? Like, I'm impressed. It's good that he won the Olympia, but is it just me? But to me, when I think of Mr. Olympias, I think of Dorian, Phil.
Yeah,
to me, I think of the cartoon characters, the ones who are just freaky. Where Derek's a great bodybuilder, nice shape and mass, but to me, Mr. Olympia could be something that's just not real looking when you look at it. It's almost like
look at all the Olympians ever. If you walk past them and saw them in person, you'd be like, okay, that's Mr. Olympia. You walk past like Derek, so in person, like you're like, oh, okay, the guy's thick and big and whatever, but he is not like, oh my gosh, that guy is the best bodybuilder in the world.
Okay, hold on. You're comparing Derek to the dominant Mr. Olympias like Ronnie, Dorian, Lee Haney. Now compare Derek to somebody who won one Olympia like Brandon Curry. Do you know what I mean? It's a little bit different. Or Chris Dickerson, who won one fucking Olympia, or or the Lebanese Lion. What's his name? Who's always on? Samir Banu. You know what I mean? You're talking about, look, there are athletes. This is why I don't like comparing anybody to Ronnie Coleman. Ronnie Coleman is an alien. He is the greatest bodybuilder I'm sorry, I almost said Phil Jackson. He is the Michael Jordan of bodybuilding. He is the Mariano Rivera of bodybuilding. He's the Muhammad Ali of bodybuilding. He's the Babe Ruth of bodybuilding. He is fucking insane. He once in a lifetime kind of guy.
Remember, John, the worst thing to happen to him in bodybuilding was getting beat by Lee Priest.
yeah, that's the truth. He hated that shit. He fucking hated that.
He still talks about it to this
day. Yeah, he fucking hated that.
That's so cool to have on your resume as well. Just, I beat these guys,
when I go to that Euro Muscle Fest in Amsterdam, Giles, who's setting it up, Ronnie's going to be there. He's hoping to do a seminar with Ronnie and I on stage. So I'm going to be like, Ronnie, your worst nightmare is coming on stage.
Yeah. Do you know what I've noticed? Do you know what I've noticed? The only thing I could really debate well is bodybuilding. Like if you put me in politics, I'm like a retarded monkey in a cage jerking off. I have no fucking clue what I'm talking about.
You're like a Democrat. You're like a Democrat.
No fucking clue. Like some liberal could come up to me and rip me apart about Trump, and I'm like, okay.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if he's doing that or not. Like, I don't know what you mean.
No idea what to say right now.
Just do what they do. Lie. Just pretend you know. Just lie.
Oh God, it's unbelievable. But yeah, it's just I have the same opinion with Frank Zane. Frank Zane was during a time where there was a dip. Dickerson there was a dip, and then Lee Haney came along, and a lot more talent came along during the Lee Haney era with Lee Labrada and Rich Gaspari.
Rich Gaspari, Mike Christian, had a lot of people.
Right. Those, and then the Dorian era was just. I feel like the Dorian era was great too, with Sean Ray and Flex and Lee Priest. I don't know if you ever heard of Lee Priest. Paul Dillette. I'm not a huge Paul Dillette fan though.
What now? Tell us.
He looked weird. He had a weird physique.
Yeah, he did have a weird physique.
I was
not a huge Paul Dillette fan.
I didn't like all those varicose veins in his chest and all
that. But
he had that Frankenstein look. He was like, I remember that photo of him with Jay Cutler. Like, he looks massive in that photo. He's almost like, even though he competed, if he didn't compete,
with his arms hanging down.
Yeah.
If he didn't compete, do you think he would have been like everyone would have spoken about him like how they spoke about Victor Richards?
Victor Richards, exactly.
Yeah. Because I reckon they would have, because they're like, look at him next to, and he would have been like almost.
Look, dude.
Maybe he would have had a better career. Maybe would have made more money. Who knows?
The truth of the matter,
he didn't train that hard though, did he? Right? He didn't train that hard, did he?
He did, but not like push himself to the limit of train.
Flex Wheeler too. Flex had a bad reputation not training hard. Paul Dillette had a reputation of not training hard. There was a couple of guys that had a reputation of not training hard.
Speaking of which, I was watching, not training hard, but it just crossed my mind about crazy things in the sport. I don't know how that come to my head, but I just thought of, I was watching Greg Doucette and I saw the Trend twin come off his motorbike and had a bad concussion or hurt his head and he went to the gym. I'm thinking, I like watching them, they're entertaining, but man, first that car he towed.
I gotta take a piss. I'll be right back.
He totaled his car, that charging out a motorbike. I'm thinking, man, slow down or you're going to end up in a bed.
They're not too bright. I mean, I'll tell you that. They're not bright.
No, they're doing crazy stuff. It always reminds me of Callum when, Callum could have had a great career and that, then he started doing crazy stuff, or it's more for, seemed to be more you're doing crazy stuff for the views and people online, not thinking, hey, if I don't think this through too well, this could end up in a bad situation where I could end up injured for life or end up dead. So it's like...
Yeah.
Callum could have really done some movie. I mean, done the movie stuff and all that route. And man, that bicep tear and then the quad and all that. That was just. I mean, the last one was. I think I posted a video of him in Thailand dancing with that little gay Thai man.
Weird. That was weird, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was unusual.
That was really weird. Yeah.
Easy, like especially if I don't know if the Trent twins are going to compete again, but if bodybuilding is what you love and lifting weights what you love, you got to remember, as much as you love doing all this crazy stuff, if you get injured and you tear something, or you get, like I said, coming off a motorbike, that could be career ending no matter what your life is. So you know,
Tonio did that too, though. Remember, Tonio had that a motorcycle accident.
Yeah. Did Rolly have a motorcycle accident too?
Who?
Rolly? Did he have one? I think he had
Rolly
a
had one before. Yeah, Rolly had one before too.
I haven't been able to do much riding. I was, I was in the hospital with pancreatitis last week. It was fucking bad. Man. Yeah, it was fucking horrible. I have a 2015 Harley Davidson Breakout that I completely customize, and it's in my yard, ready to go. I took it out twice so far, and I'm just like, fuck. And every time, like.
What do you wear when you have the full levers? Do you go all out?
No, I don't wear the full levers. I wear a bandana. Yeah, well, I always wear a bandana, but I usually wear. I prefer
chaps with no underwear.
Yeah,
assless chaps. Yeah,
I don't really like. It's uncomfortable wearing like leather to me, so I prefer wearing like the what is it? Jesus, the quilted plaid. It's like a thick. Plaid just material,
like a lumberjack type shirt.
Right. I prefer wearing that if it's cold.
The skull mask.
I have a bandana. I have the bandanas that come up to my face like this. You know, I do have a full face one.
So you look like Antifa riding a Harley.
Yeah, it's not. I have a full face helmet my wife bought me, but I very rarely use a full face helmet on the Harley. You know,
when you're riding a Harley, though, that's different than the guys riding these little crotch rockets that are
100%.
Yeah,
like, dude, like literally the speed on those I still love those motorcycles. Okay, I still love them. I always said if I was going to get a second bike, it would be another one. Only I would have to get. I couldn't. I'm too old to get like a GSXR. I'd have to get a Ducati or something like that. But I still love those bikes. My bike stock had like 78 horsepower, and I brought it to stage 2, and it has 100 horsepower. The fucking the GSXR 1000s are coming out of stock with 200 horsepower. It's fucking insane. It's crazy. It's insane. Those things are like crazy. But yeah, Harleys never were ones to like. The fastest bike they ever made was the Jesus Christ. It was like came stock like 120 horsepower. What was the name? They did it.
You don't need a lot of horsepower. Your Harley might be 78, but that car that's got 600 that hit you.
Yeah, you're right. No, but I bought the bike for $13,900 4 years ago, and I put $11,500 into it.
Are you going to get that back?
Let it go.
Do you have that T-shirt with on the saying on the back, if you can read this, the bitch fell off?
Yeah, no, I don't have that one. I got I'll tell you though, man, when you're riding and it's nice weather, it's really nice. It's really nice.
I bet. I've considered it, but I'm like, I'll end up.
Your handlebars here or up here?
No, I have the ape hangers, but they're not that high. They're shoulder width.
I wondered, one's it up really high? They must be uncomfortable.
I know the really high one.
Delts.
Like, yeah, it's ridiculous. But like I have what it referred to as my pedals are front pedals. They're pushed in the front. So and I have ape hangers that are shoulder high, and it's very relatively comfortable. They make a lot more comfortable bikes than mine. Because mine's more sporty and whatnot, but it's pretty comfortable.
My mate, he works at Harley. I was up there yesterday, and some of the bikes I was looking at, some of the biggest, like what do they call them, the road, whatever, the big ones. It looks like a big armchair. I think that looks comfortable.
Yeah, they dude. Indian 2 makes a great motorcycle, but they have, like, my brother has the Road Glide. and he bought a 2024. He bought a 2024 leftover for $28,000 or something like that. And I'm just like, Jesus Christ, you know, they get, you know, to buy, you're dropping 30 grand on a motorcycle, and that's not even the most expensive one. They have bikes that go up to, Harley Davidson has motorcycles that go up to $45,000. They're like it's just fucking insane.
Try Australia.
I went to a bike, hey, come here to Australia. I went to a bike shop. I mean, a push bike shop, and they got bikes in there, not even electric bikes. $18,000 just for one you got to fucking pedal. And I'm like, what? I'm sitting there looking at it thinking, I could get a motorbike. I can get a fucking car with 4 doors and a motor. How the fuck can this frame and a chain and 2 wheels be 18?
Like a dyno or something? What, like dyno or mongoose or something like that?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it's just, you know, you in every hobby you could open up Pandora's box, and there's always bigger and better and more expensive. My middle brother, doesn't like to go on motorcycles, but he likes hunting and skeet shooting and what's the other one? Skeet shooting, and I forget what else. He has a shotgun that's like $10,000. I'm like, what like he had he spent almost $10,000 on a shotgun. I mean, what the fuck does it do for $10,000? Jesus Christ! But you know, it's like my other brother has had, I can't tell you how many different motorcycles and spent all this money, and I did the same fucking thing. You know, I bought, you know, when it comes
had the stock on it from wood that's handcrafted from Africa.
Yeah, he probably has some shit like that, dude. I don't, you know, it's on.
You don't have kids. You can buy stupid shit. It's okay.
Yeah, no, it's the truth. Yeah, no, it really any hobby you could get lost in, man, and just fucking. You know, it's just you know, you could drop.
I brought a whippersnipper yesterday. I brought a nice new whippersnipper.
Yeah,
but that wasn't 10 grand.
No, it was only. I was going to buy this one. He goes, no, they get returns. He goes, you spend an extra 40, so I got one for $209.
Yeah,
not bad. What you're saying about bikes, like my uncle, he used to be really into cars, but then now he's not so much into cars. Now he's into like downhill, like, you know, like BMXing, I guess, or whatever. Really? And he bought a mountain bike. Well, not BMXing, but like mountain biking. But he spent like something like 10K. Like you can get like a standard one, and it's like $6,000-$7,000 with the add-ons or whatever. But then he's like, oh no, I got this, and this is carbon fiber this, and then I got this different suspension on it. I'm like, how much difference can it make? Because I bought a mountain bike and it was like a couple of $100.
Right.
$10,000 versus $200. I'm like, there's such a difference. I'm like, it's not like he's loaded. So I'm like, you must be so into that. And then he'll fall over and break something. And it's like, it's $2,000.
When it comes to the person riding the bike on how good it performs, it'd be like Michael Schumacher, put him in a fucking Ferrari. He's a good driver. Put him in a normal fucking Ford or a fucking Stinger car. He'd probably drive that just as well. It comes down to the skill of the person, not the car.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't think I'll ever get over cars and motorcycles. When I talk about cars as American muscle cars, I just can't. I just love them. I just
you
fucking
go to Australia and buy them. I said my 70 fastback Mustang cost me $129,000 here.
Wow.
Yeah, very expensive.
That is
what would that be, like 80 here, Lee? What about like 80 would be that like 80 in the States or something?
I'm not sure, but cars in Australia, like even your Trackhawk in Australia, I think Trackhawks in Australia start at 90,000 up.
Is that because of the shipping cost? It's got to be.
No, they put so many taxes. Like the new Corvette, the basic Corvette now, the new one in Australia, they start at 240,000.
What?
Oh, gosh. Yeah,
like a Range Rover, you're paying $250,000.
Brand new, you get one here for like 75. You can get a 2022 leftover for like 60.
A Dodge Ram, the TRX down here starts at 275,000.
Jesus Christ! How do you guys even live? We don't. Yeah. Holy shit.
Crazy.
Well, they said like the median house price in every Australian capital city, in Sydney and a bunch of other capital cities now is like over $1 million here. So,
but they just said on the radio now, a young couple to own a house in Australia has to be pulling in over $230,000 a year.
Yeah, I saw that. I think you posted that, right? Yeah,
Thank God. Thank God I live in the States. Jesus Christ.
Is that
you-
like in the cities or like where you guys live? Is
Even just like in the suburbs where I live, like before you could buy an old wooden house, weatherboard home, do it up, sell it, make money. To buy that old home now, you're looking at $800,000 or more.
Yep.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah. Well, a lot of guys, what they do is, because Armand hit on a good point, the cities like New York City or LA, it's so expensive to live there.
You could actually, Sydney, Australia is more expensive than New York. I heard on the radio a couple of weeks
You're probably right. But what a lot of guys do is they'll buy a home in PA, or they'll buy a home in upstate New York, or they'll buy a home in South Jersey and travel to work in New York City because it's just more affordable. And they'd rather drive the hour to 2 hours back and forth to work and have the
Dallas
house.
Dallas is so expensive now too. People, live out, out north. They keep building out north, more north, and so you can get a house in Dallas that let's say a $1 million house in Dallas would be like 400 out 45 minutes north of Dallas. Yeah,
you wouldn't get a house in Australia for 400,000 unless you're going to the outback and get a tin shit.
Yeah.
Wow,
The people in
you
Australia
just wouldn't get it. You wouldn't get
like
it.
this.
that's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right,
the price is insane.
Last topic before we go. Unfortunately, we gotta end on bodybuilding. Unfortunately, Toronto this weekend. Xavier, what do you think?
Who's in? Do we have a competitors list out?
Yeah,
I know Regan's in and Sas is in. That's all I know.
There was someone else that was doing it as well.
Competitors has got to be coming out quick. Who else is doing it?
I hope Sass comes back with revenge.
I hope Sass comes shredded and wins it. Because that guy deserves a W so fucking bad.
I know.
He really does. His work ethic is next to none. He doesn't stop.
Oh, the competitors list is just come out, I think. It's
got
it's Aaron Gooley, Regan Grimes, Sassarati, Cosine Kalate. I don't know. He's a Canadian dude. Adam Millage, Andrea Muzi, who hasn't competed in a little bit. Yeah, that's random.
In a while.
Felix Norman and Skylar Scum. So yeah, it seems like it's between Regan Grimes, Sassarati, and that's basically the top two there. So
and Mutzi. I had a friend growing up named Mutzi.
Yeah.
Well, his name is Tommy, but everybody calls him Mutzi.
I hope Sass just comes in shredded because Regan is always hit and miss on conditions. So if Sass comes in like he normally does, I think he could take it.
Sass has been looking good. I guess that one show he was just off. He's done like a lot.
New York,
he was really off.
And Cali, he was a little bit better. But when he came up in Detroit, when he went against Bonac, that was probably his best look this year. He was close. That was really close. And
I think if he comes conditioned, he'll win.
Yeah, that's his calling card, man. Fucking the V-Rod. Yes, William. Thank you, sir. This was the fastest Harley Davidson that they made, the V-Rod. It was 120 horsepower out of the showroom. Anyway, but yeah, I think I like when you see somebody like grind that hard for a W, you start cheering for him. And coming in second place all the time, it's like, oh, you start fucking cheering for that fucking guy. Like this guy wants that W, and he wants to go to the Olympia this year, and he deserves it. Well, I same thing, Lee. I hope he comes in diced because that's his call.
He can do it. Yeah. Don't play the size game. Go to your strength. That's conditioning.
Yeah, absolutely. 100%.
I think Sass, he's got like 2 or 3 thirds this year already. Like he's been, 2 or 3 seconds. So it's like he's been so close. So I'd feel bad. He'd be doing like the Chris Cormier at the Arnold if he gets second again because that's like 4.
I
Hey,
I think
got 4 or 5.
What'd you say, Armand?
Regan has a really hard time coming, on point though. So he just, I don't know if he'll. I think Sass, if he comes to condition, that should be a win for him.
Regan is Canadian, right? He probably wants to do the show because it's a hometown show.
I wanted to qualify for Olympia. And you got that birth is the fire not as great to get it now. So Sass is still aiming for it. So he could be a little bit hungrier.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Because after this, what do we got? What shows do we have after Toronto? Dubai?
Who cares?
Yeah, Dubai's coming up.
Dubai and
There's
Dubai
a show, I think. As well.
Isn't Nathan? I hope Nathan wins because I want to see Nathan in the Olympia.
if Nathan could get to the Olympia, but
I remember last year he couldn't because the legal stuff,
No.
right?
Yeah. Yeah, you got Toronto this weekend. Next weekend, the M Pro Classic in Spain. Then you got Dubai, and then you have the China Pro. Oh, hero! And then
Dubai is the same weekend as the China Pro. The same weekend.
Oh,
the same
really?
day.
That's fucking stupid. Why would they do that? You're right.
I'm wondering if we're going to get a really low level guy qualifying for the Olympics.
Yeah, really.
I don't know one guy that's doing
Priest
it.
is going to China.
Yeah, you should. Imagine if it was you versus one other guy and you qualify for the Olympia. That would be.
Let's go. If you lose Toronto, go to China.
Yeah. Exactly. Sash should go to China.
Yeah, go to China. And plus, they don't know what they're looking at. They're all trying.
Look, he looks very elongated.
All right, you sick fucks. I'm out of here.
Yeah,
all right,
so
always a pleasure. Loving
later,
it.
Xavier.
What?
Xavier, I have to do a podcast at 1:30 today.
Yeah, we're doing one in under 2 hours. So
later, fellas.
Catch ya.
Bye-bye.
See you.